Hey y'all, I'm Ryan, a tutor here with Chegg Tutors, and today I'm going to give an overview of the topic of segregation. In sociology, we define segregation as the separation of people on the basis of group status, such as race, religion, ethnicity, age, sex, gender, or economic class, though this is not an exhaustive list. Some forms of segregation are so common in our daily lives, we don't even think about them. I'm thinking of segregation on the basis of biological sex. For example, restrooms, locker rooms, changing rooms, prison, and even some student housing are all designated male or female. This type of segregation, though not completely free from critique, is accepted in society and hardly questioned. As sociologists, we are more concerned with how segregation relates to inequality. Segregation most often implies there is a dominant group, and those not belonging to the dominant group experience fewer opportunities in areas such as occupation, education, social mobility, and even where one resides. It is important to note, however, that some segregation is self-imposed or voluntary. Some groups, like the Amish in North America, form geographic residential clusters to promote and preserve their unique culture, as they feel that their cultural practices are best maintained if they keep themselves separate from mainstream society. Now, as soon as I said segregation, I bet most of you immediately thought of racial segregation, specifically that of African Americans in the United States. While the civil rights movement saw the end of all state and local laws requiring segregation through the passing of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, racial segregation still persists in the U.S. today. And segregation on the basis of economic class has actually increased since the 1980s. The prejudices that promote these types of segregation result in the denial of equal opportunities in education and employment and need to be eradicated. Now, conceptually, we cannot always equate segregation with inequality. Segregation has two dimensions, vertical segregation and horizontal. Both are best illustrated with occupational sex segregation examples. The term horizontal segregation refers to differences in the amount of people of each gender, male or female, present across occupations. It refers to the fact that there are more men than women doing one type of job, like construction work, which requires a certain amount of physical strength, and more women than men doing another type of job, like women are more traditionally involved in childcare or elementary education. The term vertical segregation occurs when people do not get jobs above a particular rank in organizations because of their race, age, or sex. It describes men's domination of the highest status jobs in both traditionally male and traditionally female occupations, like men are more likely to be CEOs of major companies. So in theory, people can be completely segregated horizontally without any vertical segregation, or vice versa, though a labor market is most often segregated along both horizontal and vertical lines. So, to recap, segregation is the practice of separating people into groups on the basis of factors like race, religion, age, sex, gender, and class. Though not always, it can represent inequality for the non-dominant segregated group. Segregation can be voluntary, and it is made up of vertical and horizontal lines. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about segregation, its causes and/or consequences, sociology in general, or any of the other subjects I tutor, check out the link below. Thank you.